was like losing a really good friend, maybe even a grandpa over the weekend. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. And when you heard word about Regis, what was going through your mind? I went, wow. First, I didn't know he was like 88 years old.
Who knew?
You know?
Yeah. He lived such just a joyful life. You know, his wife's name is Joy.
Yeah.
By the way, brought joy to his life every single day. Funny, seemed to be just loved by everybody in the entertainment industry as well as those of us who were at home.
It didn't matter to him if somebody made fun of the way that he presents.
No, he made fun of himself.
Yeah, I know. So good. 60 years broadcasting. One of my first thoughts was, boy, I hope you knew Jesus.
Exactly. And I think that's when we hear about anybody's passing, that's the first thing is, wow, are they going to be in heaven? A lot of people we know, some people like entertainers, we don't really know.
You don't know where their faith is.
Yeah.
You know, they're good people. I mean, one thing I liked about Regis was he was clean.
He was always clean. Like, there were some innuendo, I guess, sometimes, but it wasn't where kids or anybody would be like, oh, that was gross. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You know?
So you know, Regis was with Kathy Lee before Kelly Ripa.
Yeah.
Now it's Kelly and Ryan on that whole live show. And so I noticed that Kathy Lee on her Instagram post, she said something about his faith. She wrote like a paragraph where she started off, there were no words to fully express the love I had for my precious friend. So she was talking about the 15 years that she spent with Regis. And in the middle of that paragraph, she said, I smile knowing somewhere in heaven at this very moment he's making someone laugh. It brings me great comfort knowing that he had a personal relationship with the Lord and that it brought him great peace. So I'm like, oh, good, he knew Jesus. Because Kathy Lee, she's very vocal about her faith.
Yeah, very vocal about it. Yeah,
she'll tell you. I saw her at the Billy Graham funeral.
Yeah.
What was that? A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And she was talking so boldly about her faith in Christ and what Billy Graham, Dr. Graham, had meant to her.
Yeah.
And so it was reassuring to see, okay, good. He knew Jesus.
Yeah. I don't think she would have put out that Instagram post in those words, in that manner, had he not had an actual relationship with Jesus. So, yeah, that warms your heart to think about. Man, Regis is up there. Wow, that's awesome.
This story about the TV bump on her throat, and then said, oh, I think back to your first car, if you would.
Okay.
Very first car. I'm sure you've got a memory to share with that. Let me tell you about Bob. Bob got his first car. It was a Chevy truck.
Okay.
When he was in his 20s. Got him back and forth to work for a number of years. He just retired.
Okay.
He's been going to work in that truck for 44 years.
The same truck?
The same truck. Wild guess how much he paid for it.
44 years ago, $2,000. I don't know.
$75.
$75 and he still was driving it?
Turned into an antique since he's owned it.
I would think, yeah.
Since it must be over 50 years old because he got it 44 years ago. It must have been used when he got it. So it turns out that the man that he bought it from, his grandson, really desired to have that truck.
I can see that.
His name is Tom. So Tom called Bob and said, hey, do you mind? And so Bob said, sure. Tom said, how much? He goes, well, I bought it for $75. How about $75?
That is such a cool story.
He could have got so much more out of that because it was an antique. Yeah, it's got some rust.
Sure.
Yeah, there's duct tape that's holding the seats together.
But it was Grandpa's truck.
Exactly.
He really could have gotten more money out of it, even from just a sentimental aspect. But giving it to the grandson, that's pretty cool.
For $75. So
I like that.
The grandson now has some grandpa with him again. Because that was Grandpa's truck.
That's so sweet. So what was your first car?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You're asking me that? It was a 1962 Chevy Nova.
Okay. What color?
Yellow.
Yellow. Was that your choice?
No.
It was just you took it?
I bought it for $1. There's a family that had pity on me because I was a homeless kid and I just started working. And so the family's like, listen, if you go get your license and you get insurance, we'll sell you the car for $1. And that's how much I bought it for, $1.
The people in your life, Rob, I mean, honestly, that have blessed you, that is awesome.
So, if you would have seen, you would have had pity on me too.
Sure, but
it's like, this snot-nosed kid needs something. I was just riding my bike back and forth to work.
Oh my goodness! Well, I had a '72 Comet. That was and it had Hello Dixie stickers on the back of it. I scraped
What?
those. I scraped those along with the paint off, and it was blue. It had a white top. It was the ugliest thing, and I was being a brat. My parents bought it for $200, and I was being a brat, and I wouldn't drive it for about a month, and then I was tired of taking the bus, got the keys, got in. Oh, she ran nice.
That was your car, wasn't it?
She went pretty quick. She was nice.
You mean it was fast?
A little bit.
That's what you meant by quick.
Yeah.
How many tickets?
Oh no, no.
Oh, what'd you do? Cry?
I'm not a crier. I'm more of a hi. How are you? I know what I did. Like I will.
So the truth set you free. That was
you know
nice.
it did. Let me
Okay.
go for sure. He's not really selling it. Just adding to.
So want to hear this memory of your very first car on his radio. Hi, it's Rob and Liz, 800-447-7234.
Michelle texted in. She said her very first car was a 1986 Ford Probe.
I remember those.
When I see the picture, yes, then I remember, but I couldn't have picked it out. It's just not one that stuck out in my head. But she loved it.
They're kind of sporty.
Yeah, they
Did
are.
she mention how much she bought it for?
No, $500, I think.
$500.
Yes, $500.
Wow, what a deal.
Oh, and then Lillian, she is now 31 years old. She was 16 at the time, and she said her first car was a 1973 F100. It was orange. It was loud. When she drove it to school, she got picked on. She said, I don't care. It is my daddy's car. It was her daddy's car. And it is fast.
It is fast, and you know she's coming.
Exactly.
That's why you give kids a bad muffler. So you know when they leave the house if it's the middle of the night. Did that for my oldest son.
Right?
Smart.
You know.
That's how you do it. Okay, John's along with us. What about the first car, John? What's the story you have to share?
My mother will be 95 Saturday. She's in great shape. She still drives. I won't ride with her, but she still drives. When she bought a car like 10 years ago, she got first-time buyers because they said, you never bought a car. Mom said, no, Dad always bought the cars. Dad had just passed away before that. So Ford gave her first-time buyers. So she's writing a check out for the deposit. The young salesman, he's about 21. So he says, well, Miss Margaret, he says, you got lifetime oil changes. She looks at him, she looks at me, she looks back at him, she goes, what's that, about 10? He goes, no, you got lifetime. She goes, son, I'm 86 years old. I only drive 2,500 miles a year. How many oil changes can I get? Do the math.
Love her.
And your first car, your grandma's first car at 86.
Yeah.
First car at 86 years old.
Best part of that call is where he said, I am not going to drive with her.
I ain't driving with her. John, you're a pretty cool dude, man. So, Regis was with Kathy Lee before Kelly Ripa.
Yeah.
Hearing about those first cars today on his radio at 800-447-7234. Hi, I'm Rob Dempsey. That's Liz Riles. Lacey got a hold of us. Here's what she said. Her first car, are you ready for this? Was a 1967 Ford Galaxy 500. She drove it during her junior year at high school. It was her grandmother's car, and Dad gave it to her.
Oh, I bet it was in good condition.
If it's grandma's car, you know it. And the cars made in the 60s, they ran the way they were supposed to.
Right. And
they
still
don't break down in 2 years.
No. Amy said she also got a hand-me-down. Hers was her brother's. It was an 88 Chrysler LeBaron. Had a big crack in the windshield. Didn't have air. Like the headliner was falling down on her head.
Oh, that was one of my cars.
Right?
Yeah.
But you know what gets you from point A to point B? Joanne and her sister maybe had it a little better than I think some of us, because you know what they had?
What?
My son's favorite car right now, a 1967 convertible Mustang.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, that's sweet.
And it was a 67. They bought it in 71, so it was only 4 years old. And so maybe there were some squabbles from time to time because she and her sister had to share it.
Oh,
they
it's
both paid
one of
for
those
it.
cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I bet they had some fun.
You can imagine, right? So Valerie's along with us. What about your first car, Valerie? You're on his radio.
My first car was a 1965 Cadillac. It was a 500 horsepower in the 500 block engine, and it was dark blue with a white top.
Ooh, girl.
That sounded like a beast.
It was. My grandmother gave it to me when I was going to school. It was a Cadillac Coupe de Ville. It's a 1965 two-door. Huge car, but run like a top.
What was it like driving that into the parking lot of school?
I had to have 2 parking places. It was long.
Turned into an antique since it's over. It must be over.
Summer
44
Fun
years
Fridays are here. We could give you a backyard movie kit. And Dana registered for Summer Fun Fridays. She went online, told us a little bit about some of their favorite memories. She said, one of my favorites is my daughter just playing in the mud after a summer rain and after she helped, quote unquote, pick tomatoes.
Oh.
She may have been eating them. I don't know. But she said she was making mud pie, squealing with delight. And then they went home and made tomato sandwiches.
After the mud pies.
After the mud
pies. Did they use the mud pies for dessert?
I doubt that. I think they had
really
watermelon.
Tasty, wouldn't it?
You know, did you not eat mud pies as a kid?
Of course I did.
I think every child did.
And look how I turned out. Oh. Summer Fun Fridays, you could win. Now, Dana didn't win today.
No.
Maybe on Friday, because that's when we do the drawing. There's only 2 of these left, by the way. This week and next week is the last week of Summer Fun Fridays. So if you haven't registered, do that now. Text the word summer to 800-447-7234. You can go to hisradio.com. If you're listening through the app right now, just tap on Summer Fun Fridays and you can register to win right there.
I got it.
I bought it for $1. There are some animals that are venturing out beyond where they usually are.
Yeah.
You know, because of social distancing, because of quarantine, and not as many people out. There are more people out than a few months ago.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But still, you know, deer's coming out.
We had some in our backyard. We had turkeys yesterday.
Turkeys are coming out. It's not even Thanksgiving yet.
Oh, believe me, I reminded them.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I did.
It's like, yeah, your day's coming.
See you in a couple months.
See you on the plates.
I got the butter ready.
There's my fork and knife.
Yeah.
I just put the napkin
bib.
right there on my shirt. So there's a panther that was on the loose in the UK. They were getting the police are getting calls and saying, listen, there is this 6-foot panther. And this panther right now is on the back of a bench. Now think a park, a bench that you sit on. The back of the bench, the panther literally, it was about 6 feet. A black panther was on the back of this bench with its front legs or whatever, the paws, hanging onto the front of it and just staying there.
And
didn't go anywhere.
You're showing me the picture right now, and that freaks me out a little bit.
It was in the evening.
It's dark.
And so the police came, and they saw the panther. And, of course, the tranquilizer guns, all this stuff. They got to make sure that as they got closer and closer, it's like this panther's not moving. It turns out it was a stuffed panther. It was a stuffed, like what you get from the carnival if you won. It was that big.
Did somebody leave it behind, or what was
It's a
going
prank.
on?
This is somebody's prank. And people saw it, and they're like, oh, no. There's a lot of people called the police because of it.
No, it was in England, so it was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, what's a panther?
Right, it's in the park.
Yes. Doesn't she do that well? I can't do an English accent. She does that really, really well.
Bench. I don't know.
He's just hanging there. He's minding its own business. He might hurt somebody.
I watched it for more than an hour. Never moved.
That's why you get... So if it's the middle of the night for my oldest
There
son.
is a $64,000 crystal Cinderella castle. Did you know there was one like this?
You said $64,000?
$1,000.
So this is like something you can have in your home. It's not like a genuine castle to live in.
No. This is like a figurine almost. Like it might be 2 foot high, something like that. This is at the Shanghai Disneyland Park, and they have a special place, almost like a museum, I guess, inside the park, where you can go in and take a look at some of these things, right? So a family goes in, looks like mom and dad, couple of kids start wrestling around a bit. They knock into it, destroy the castle. The $64,000 crystal
right at that Disney park
castle.
Oh,
yes, it is gorgeous. It took 500 hours to create, 30,000 pieces, including 24 karat gold spires. Yeah. They were going through the little gallery, through the little museum. They were
utterly destroyed?
Absolutely. I mean, have you ever dropped anything made of crystal?
No.
It's not like it breaks in chunks generally. It is just...
a big shatter?
Yeah, and you'll find little pieces of it years later and be like, oh, that's in my foot now, but okay.
I feel bad for the parents.
Oh, they feel...
Do they have to pay?
They have offered to help, and so I don't think they have $64,000.
We'll give you $20 payments for the rest of our life.
Yeah.
Once a month.
There was another, within the same story that I was reading, there was another family this kind of same thing happened to. Kids went into a museum, completely destroyed whatever the artifact was.
The Mona Lisa?
No, it wasn't the Mona Lisa. Nobody drew a mustache on her. No. So the parents did nothing about it. They filmed it. They filmed it happening and then just sort of took off. Yeah.
Oh.
He's very bad.
That's
so have
not
you
good.
ever had something like that happen?
If you have, let us know at 800-447-7234. Oh, the story that you could tell today. Oh, my. Because you can laugh about it now, right?
Well, we hope.
Yeah. That's sweet.
And it was a 67. They bought it. You want to have some family fun this summer? Because His Radio can make that happen. Summer Fun Fridays going on right now. You can register for a backyard movie kit. Now, that is the screen. It's an indoor-outdoor screen. It's a projector. It's the tabletop popcorn maker. Even thrown in the popcorn to go along with
Not
it.
a lifetime supply. Somebody asked
No.
me, are you giving us a lifetime supply of popcorn? No. Absolutely not. But we'll get you started.
Maybe a week's supply. How about that?
For a movie or two, depending upon how
Yeah.
much popcorn you win.
Exactly.
Amateo happens to be one of those that registered to win.
Yeah, she said, in my family, we're not really fortunate enough to take our children for summer vacations, but we use the backyard as much as possible. It's where we spend all of our summer times, and we are grateful to God that we even have a backyard to go to, but it'd be really nice to win these prizes.
I would love for you to win. Now, coming up on Friday, we're going to do the random drawing. Only have 2 more of these left.
Right.
This week and next week. So this is possibly, if you haven't registered yet, because all you got to do is register once, you're in. If you haven't registered yet, go ahead and register now before it's too late, because we would love for you to win. Here's all you have to do. Text the word summer to 800-447-7234. You can go online to hisradio.com to register, or just tap on Summer Fun Fridays when you have the My His Radio app open.
Sandwiches.
After the use the mud pies for dessert,
I doubt
she
that.
was so grateful
You know-
that she heard from somebody she didn't even know that cared about her. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on His Radio. Her name is Victoria Price. She does TV news. She's a reporter in the Tampa Bay area. And like a lot of other reporters, she was working countless many hours. A ton of hours. So she must be in her 20s. Just looking at her picture, she's got to be in her 20s, or she really knows how to apply makeup.
Yeah, she's absolutely beautiful.
So this one viewer looks at her, at the picture, and then go, I got to tell this girl. And she noticed that there was like a lump on her neck.
Right. It turned out because Victoria was, like most 20-year-olds or even like most of us, we don't really spend a lot of time wanting to go to the doctor, and especially at her age. She went, and they found that it was cancer.
It was.
It was cancerous, yeah.
Had to do surgery.
Yeah.
She had it yesterday. So she just posted on her Instagram page about the surgery. Afterwards, she's got a popsicle in her hand.
Oh, of
She's
course.
like, I'm eating popsicle after my surgery. So here's what she put on her Instagram, that the surgery went well. She's recovering. Popsicles are her best friend.
Yeah.
And she said, good news. The pre-biopsy revealed the cancer didn't spread to the outlying lymph nodes, so they only had to remove one of the ones that was closest to the thyroid. Now it's nap time, and she's going to have more updates.
Yeah.
She hasn't updated since then, but the surgery was yesterday for her. Because somebody was observant and they didn't stay silent, they're like, oh, that kind of looks like cancer. Maybe I should tell her, maybe not. No, they told her
Yeah.
and saved her life.
This happened to a guy that's on HGTV, and I think his name is Tariq or Tarek. He's one of those guys that they go in and they flip houses.
Oh, yeah, the flip-flop thing.
Yeah, exactly. So one of their viewers noticed the same thing around his Adam's apple. Like there was some lump that hadn't been there before or whatever. It was enough that they noticed it and sent him an email, got to him. He went and checked it out. Same exact thing.
And he's doing better.
He is
That's
doing very
good.
well. Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that people just don't stay silent.
That's the thing. If you see something, say something, in so many different aspects of our lives. But if you see something, talk about it. Let them know.
A lot of people call the police because of it.
No, it was in English.
Russell is remembering when he heard that story about the TV reporter who had that lump on her throat. Somebody saw it and then said, oh, I got to tell her. turned out being cancer. She had surgery. She's going to be okay.
Yeah, it was a viewer that saw her on television and reached out.
So what's your story, Russell? You're on his radio.
I had a manager that worked for me one time, and we were in a meeting, and I was talking to him, and I looked down, and I was like, have you noticed that lump in your throat? And she went and had it checked out, and it was the same thing. It was cancer.
I'm glad you spoke up. You saved that young lady's life.
Yeah.
What wound up happening after that?
She had surgery and had it removed and recovered fine. She's doing good today.
That's how you do it.
$1 Crystal Cinderella.
Ready to give you a backyard movie kit. I hope that you win because next week it's over, it's done, it's capiche.
That's right. So Luke registered his family, and when he does that, he shared one of their favorite summer memories. He said, just doing those simple things with his wife, like getting a 49-cent ice cream cone. Luke, I got to know where you're doing that.
Yeah, right?
So I can take my family. Driving around laughing, listening to music, or getting a cherry Pepsi and just enjoying wherever they are at the moment. But one of their recent things that they did, they took their 7-month-old, taking walks in the evening and just enjoying the sunset with the wife and the baby.
Best way to do it, right? Wow. He sent us a picture.
And they are
Great,
such a sweet
beautiful family.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and register. We're going to do the drawing this Friday. So go online, hisradio.com. If you have the app open, you can tap on Summer Fun Fridays on the app. Or it can be as simple as this. Just text a word, and the word is summer to 800-447-7234.
No. It's not like it breaks in chunks. Generally, it is just... I don't watch the Oakland A's play baseball very much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm kind of a Braves girl,
That's okay. You can watch every now and then.
Yeah. So Tom Hanks is now part of the Oakland A's. Did you know that?
I didn't know he played ball.
He
and
doesn't.
Isn't he a little old to play ball?
He's a little past his prime if
Yeah.
he's going to play ball. No, he is the voice over talent, I guess you would call it, the guy who's voicing the concessions. Yeah, because they're piping in all the ambiance, all the crowd noise and the bada.
Why the Oakland A's? You could do that for anybody. Why the Oakland A's?
Because he was part of the Oakland A's when he was a teenager. He sold concessions back in the 70s.
Get out.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's actually where it came through or he was born and raised in Oakland, so maybe. But yeah, it's so cool to hear.
Hot dogs! Hot dogs!
Look at that. That's classic. I feel like I'm watching Toy Story.
It is like having Woody call us concessions.
Without a hot dog. Who wants a hot dog?
Look at him go. He's got it down, too.
Hot
dog. That's almost like all aboard.
It is very much. What is?
Right?
Oh my goodness! I just lost the name of that.
I'm gonna let her just think about this one.
Oh no!
Christmas movie.
I know.
Something about a train.
Polar Express.
That's it.
Okay. I was about like PJs and hot chocolate. I was going down that road that you got to do, but yeah, it's just the same thing. So he's selling hot dogs, peanuts, programs, that kind of stuff. He's not really selling it, just adding
Can't tell the
to.
players without a program.
Look at that.
Adding to the flavor.
So this happens because there's no fans.
There's
They just
no
have this
fans.
rolling while they're playing.
Yeah.
With the crowd cheering and stuff. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and each team seems to be a little bit different. So some of the teams have cardboard cutouts. Other teams have CGI'd the crowd in there.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
I know. And then, a lot of them have all the crowd sound. So it's different just to give the players something to feel off of or to play off of.
Okay, what's he selling now?
Soda.
Oh, soda.
Peanuts here, peanuts.
Oh, got the peanuts.
Peanut.
Yeah, I'll take a hot dog with that. Pass it on down.
It's kind of like two different characters that he's playing there, too.
Two bagger peanut.
2 bag of peanuts.
Bag up. What was it? I'll
great.
take a dog with relish.
There you go. Thank you, Tom Hanks.